I'm recording this video for anyone who wants to make a lot of money so they don't have to worry about anything, for ones who want that unbothered energy, who wants to be this untouchable girl when everything is working out for her and there's nothing that can stop her from this desired life and goals. But I know that if you clicked on this video, you are probably stuck. You're in a cycle of scrolling through social media, watching other girls living your dream life while you're just existing. You're in a cycle of doing everything you were supposed to do, but you still feel empty, constantly worrying about your future, stressing out about every dollar you spend, and you feel like your life is just passing by on a pure autopilot. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you and explain how to break this cycle, completely reinvent yourself from scratch, and become unrecognizable. Trust me, there are no rules and you can mold yourself into literally anyone. And here's the exact blueprint how to start over. Let's get into it. A few years ago, I was exactly where you are, but I found a way out. And the very first thing you have to realize to get out of this as well is just to understand that you are like a clay. Let me explain what that means. You can completely reshape and remold yourself, your life, your habits, your reality, everything at any given moment. Let's say if you already started walking down this standard, predictable path, and you just suddenly realize that, wait, it's not really what I want to do. It's not the life I wanted to live. It's possible to fix that. It is never too late to start over. You can literally reinvent yourself at any age. And what helped me a lot back then is to realize and to kind of build this skill when you understand that you can change, you can improve, and you can build. Otherwise, you're just going to feel stuck in a reality you hate, just basically surviving your life and just going through motions of a script that someone else wrote for you without ever actually living. Just this idea helped me a lot. You know, if you already chose this, you can always choose differently. You can always stop in the middle of the way. You don't have to finish nothing. You can always reinvent that. I really want you to remember this thought and really develop this skill. Put this into your mindset that it's never late. You can always change it and nothing is going to happen if you just stop the midway. Here's one more very important realization about life. And I feel like earlier you understand that better for you. I feel like a lot of people struggling to understand that. That's why they never get through life and never succeed in anything. You cannot control anything in this world except yourself. Most people live their life on pure autopilot and they just do a lot of things just because society expects them to do it. And if you want to be different, you need to really develop this radical self-awareness. It starts with the very small things. This is how I started back then. Let's say you're sitting in a restaurant. Do you order the avocado toast just because it's healthy or very Instagrammable, or you actually like avocado and you want to eat it? This practice is very simple. It sounds so easy, but no one really does it. When you start questioning yourself before every action you do, even in those small little things, you will see and realize how many things you do, not because you genuinely want to, but just because it's very familiar to you, just because you're very used to them already and you don't really want to change them. Just really think about it. Just stop this video right now and think about how many things you do in your life, not because you want to do them, but someone else wants for you. If you don't listen to yourself and to those little tiny things and those little decisions that you do every day, trust me, you will make massive mistakes into big decisions and actually important things in your life. I had this exact realization a few years ago. So back then, I was accepted into this one of the best universities in my city. It was that everyone told me I should want, right? You finish school, you pass your exams, you're going into this beautiful, great community and, you know, people around you just learning. And this is what I wanted as well. I thought I do. But after paying an insane amount of money to just learn basic, general nonsense, I just looked around and realized a very harsh, very uncomfortable truth. You know, I don't want to finish that. I don't feel good here. I'm not actually learning anything. I cannot find any friends. I just don't feel like I fit. And that was very sad to realize, right? Because for so many years, I was preparing for this step in my life to actually get to university, get the degree, and like, you know, be in this society. It was horrible to fight with my parents and actually explain to them that I did a mistake. I feel like it's not what I want to do. I feel like I don't want to go there and learn for 4, 6, whatever years to just be an average hostess. So when I realized that, okay, that was my mistake, and now I have to figure out something else, I would start thinking about what I actually want to do. So I dropped out, packed my bags, moved to Bali, and opened an offline business at 20 years old. This is a whole big story for another video, but you here can understand what I'm trying to say, like my point. You have to stop doing things just because you're supposed to. It works with everything. You just have to really face the truth, even if it's very uncomfortable, because usually it is. Usually it's about something that you did for so long. You spend so much of your time, years, energy, everything on that. And just one day when you realize, oh my God, this is not what I want anymore. I want to change it. I want to do different things. I cannot live like that anymore. This is when the action actually starts. This is what you have to understand and do, because otherwise nothing will never change. Another analogy that I always do to myself, and I think it's going to be very helpful for you as well. I want you to start treating your life like a video game. The standard path: go to kindergarten, school, university, get a degree, get a corporate job, get married, stay in your hometown, and you know, just like have all of this fun. There's absolutely nothing wrong in this path if you genuinely want it. The truth is that you cannot do the same comfortable things and expect extraordinary results. If you want a different reality, you have to take controversial actions. You have to move cities, you have to talk with people society doesn't understand. You have to do something no one in your circle does. If you already know how exactly your life is going to play out, what is the point even playing this game? You are just walking around the same safe map like an NPC. You know, like this background character in like someone else's movie. Thanks God we live in the internet era, because you have unlimited access to knowledge. You know, there is a huge trend right now. People start educating themselves without university or schools, just at home, using so many free resources like YouTube, AI, different lectures. And this is honestly, like, I'm obsessed with that. This is beautiful. Do that. Culture yourself. Start learning something new, because this is exactly what helps you to unlock those new pieces of your map in your game. The most important value with which I want you to walk away today from this video after watching this is to just understand that everything that you learned and everything that you know from your family, from people around you, your circle, it's not the limit. There's so many more interesting and beautiful things. Even if you didn't see them happening around you, or just because no one showed you that, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Since we live in such an accessible world, you can see so many different lives online. This helps so much to even invent this understanding of like, oh my God, there's so many different things. I can travel, I can do business, I can work, I can make $1 million. You can do any of that. Even no one around you did. Just because you have so much more benefits and you have such a crazy advantage with having access to the internet. So please remember that. The life is unlimited and you can actually do and create whatever you want. But as I said, for that, first of all, you have to see the truth, and it's probably not going to be that pleasant. And the second catch that will happen on this way, if you actually decide to break this cycle, is that when you actually decide to unlock those new maps in your game and ask the universe for a new reality, it's going to test you. The second you decide to level up, you're going to get hit with a massive challenge. I'm talking through the experience, trust me. The universe, or whatever you guys want to call it, is going to ask you, are you actually ready for this reality you're asking for? Or are you just gonna run back to your comfort zone? These challenges are not punishments. These are software updates, as I call them. By the way, I already have a huge video about those upgrades and my SD card theory, where I explain exactly how this mental formatting works. So if you didn't watch this video, it's gonna be somewhere here. I'm also gonna leave it in the description below. It's very helpful. Make make sure you watch it right after this video. Okay, let's get back to my story. I had so many brutal challenges and tests back then. For example, when I first moved to Bali, I thought it's all gonna be full of flowers and smoothie bowls and, you know, this beautiful island life. But it turned out to be way harder than that because I decided to open my own business. I didn't know what to do, and I was like, okay, maybe I should start to do something on my own, right? Normal people would look at me and say like, are you insane? You like 20 years old in a foreign country. It's not safe. Like, you have no idea of what are you doing. And I actually didn't have any idea. Now I'm thinking about it and looking at myself back then. That was so reckless, that was so crazy, but that was the key. I did something so controversial that this got me to this life that I live right now. Because, you know, when I opened that business, it was so quick. From my idea to the realization, it was less than a month. And when I opened it, it was a moment when nothing would work. I was 20 years old. I didn't even know how business should run. I had zero knowledge, but instead of buying 10 million courses on how to run a business, or instead of waiting and telling myself, okay, first I'm gonna make $1 million and after I'm gonna open the business, instead of all that, I decided, okay, I wanna do this. I'm gonna learn on the way, and this is what I did. And when the actual problems hit, I had to learn everything through trial and error. How to run a business, management, hiring people, accountant, taxes, manufacturing. Like, I learned everything empirically right there in the fire, and that was nothing that could actually stop me. It was incredibly hard, and I'm honestly thinking that not everyone is capable of that, and that is okay. And that's exactly why not everyone gets to these results. But I handled it, I passed the test, and my business is still running perfectly to this day. If you watched till this moment, you probably have in you a lot of potential, at least a little thought about how life could be and what to expect if you're going this different path. It's hard, it's very unexpected, but trust me, it's worth every single challenge, every single problem that's gonna be on your way. Radical actions lead to this radical reality, and there's no way around it. So maybe after this video, it's time to stop acting like you have a second life saved up somewhere, because you don't. You are the creator of your own avatar. Pick a goal, start molding this new character, and go unlock those new maps. Let me know down below in the comments, what are you gonna change starting today? Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.